Good afternoon. Thanks for having us, and thanks for giving us this opportunity to get to know a lot more about each other and hopefully help the voters understand more as well. Thank you for hosting this vital conversation today. My name is Eudaly. I'm running for re-election to Portland City Council position number 4. I'm the former commissioner in charge of the Bureau of Development Services, and I am the current commissioner in charge of the Portland Bureau of Transportation, the Office of Community and Civic Life, and I am your arts commissioner as well. I'm proud to say that I've found ways to support Portland's music community through every assignment my office has received. Although I ran a bookstore for 22 years before taking my seat on City Council, my first love was really music. Family legend is that I started singing before I could talk. Not sure how that works, but that's what they tell me. I sang in choir throughout my school career, played multiple musical instruments, and it is no secret that I love karaoke, and I sometimes burst into song at City Hall. No shame. I've never been in a band, but I was looking forward to achieving a long time dream of being a guest vocalist with Pink Martini this summer at the Vortex Festival. Sadly, it was canceled along with thousands of other arts events across our region. I'm hoping for a rain check. My first live show was General Public at the Starry Night in 1984, RIP Ranking Roger. I have fond memories of venues like Pine Street Theater, Satyricon, Blue Gallery, and La Luna, but my most loved venue was the legendary all-ages club, the X-Ray. My experiences there actually inspired me to open my bookshop. And I saw too many shows to mention last year, but the definite highlight was my second time seeing the Sun Ra Orchestra at the Hollywood Theater. I have been advocating for Portland's arts community for more than 10 years. It started when the Creative Action Network was convening conversations with community stakeholders, which is what led to the well-intentioned but poorly executed arts tax. My message was that Portland's arts community was being forced out of the city, their homes, their rehearsal spaces and studios, and independent performance venues. I asked the city to provide the kinds of grants and technical assistance provided to nonprofit arts organizations, because although for-profit, these creative and often visionary businesses were contributing so much out of pocket to our arts community. We also suggested that the city create commercial land trusts to preserve space for a creative small business community. And as we all know, my recommendations were unheeded, and we've missed so many opportunities to protect and foster our arts community. And now this fragile ecosystem is among the hardest hit in our current public health and economic crisis. So a few of the things, I'm talking fast because I think I have a little too much to say. A few of the things I've done to support Portland's music community since taking office include bringing back the small business concierge at BDS to work with small-time developers and nonprofit and other organizations, make it through a permitting process, which I agree is difficult. I did not support the URM placarding policy after hearing the strong and well-reasoned opposition from the music community. I've worked to improve the relationship between our noise and liquor offices. Those are both in civic life and local venues, which had become a little contentious in the years prior to me taking my seat. And I also helped create Portland's first musician loading zone pilot program with Commissioner Fish, the Transportation Bureau, MusicPortland, and Fair Trade Music PDX. Simply put, this program allows musicians to access free permits to utilize loading zones near music venues for loading in and out, making their jobs easier and keeping them and their gear safer. And I'm looking forward to expanding that once there is a need again. More recently, my office in civic life has been working with local musician and former mayoral candidate Bim Ditson, who's developed a prefab rehearsal space that could solve the challenge, some of the challenge of the lack of affordable rehearsal space by giving people a relatively cheap, easy, and legal way to set up space in their homes. I've also used City Hall itself to celebrate our arts and music community welcoming thousands of Portlanders through our doors for events from Dead Moon Night to a visiting troupe of Tuvan throat singers. At the outset of this crisis, I advocated for independent contractors and the self-employed to receive unemployment benefits. Senator Wyden delivered those reforms, and this week, enrollment in Oregon began. I'm now actively lobbying at the local, state, and federal level for relief to save our venues. The assistance being offered to small businesses is not only inadequately funded, but it is not what venues and other businesses that depend on large gatherings need to weather this crisis.
Thank you, Commissioner. Unfortunately, we have reached your
Okay.
time. Okay. So many cities, including Austin, Seattle, King County, New York City, Wichita, and others have already committed part of their city, federal Corona Relief Fund to provide a monthly life support fund for local independent venues to save their entire music industries from collapse. Oregon's own Independent Venue Coalition has confirmed that $1.6 million per month would keep more than 40 Portland venues from extinction, and leave us with the music ecology to rebuild. Would you support such a fund for Portland music venues until they are permitted to reopen? I don't know if you notice, I'm currently sitting in a Portland music venue. I'm at Alto Lounge here.
Nice. Aw, it's been a long time.
Courtesy of the
I
green
think
screen.
that was your living room.
No, this is courtesy of the green screen. I'm actually at X-Ray. So.
Oh. Yeah, I absolutely support that. And I am definitely looking to other cities for inspiration and ammunition for building that support among my colleagues, as well as our leaders at the state and federal level. I am very concerned for what our music industry looks like coming out of this crisis. Besides venues and musicians, there are a host of business kind of invisible jobs and businesses, from people that make gear to the people that manage stages. I mean, it's, as you said earlier, tens of thousands of jobs and millions of dollars in economic activity. I always feel crass talking about numbers when it comes to the arts, though, because the arts are just essential to being human. So let me think. Yes, the conversation about how our federal relief dollars has not begun in earnest, but I will be advocating for support for our venues anywhere I can find it.
Thank you.